start by cutting 6 diamond-shaped pieces out of some printed fabric. This is a good way to use up some old fabric scraps. Then cut your 2 triangular pieces out of some white fabric. And then cut the 4 odd-shaped pieces out of white fabric as well. So next, just assemble your quilt pieces in the general shape of the star, and then you'll pin them together and sew them all together. So it's generally easiest if you start by sewing the 6 diamond points together along their inner points. So you just start by taking 2 of the diamonds and putting them with the right sides together, and then you're just going to sew along one edge of the diamond. And so this pattern gives you a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So then once you've got the threads tied off on that one, just open it back up, and then you'll put another piece, another diamond, with the right sides together, and then you'll just sew right down along that line. And so then you'll just keep going around like that, adding each diamond in until you've got all the diamonds sewn together. And so here we have the fully pieced star, and then we're just going to add a triangle onto each side of the star. We'll just sew those right in there the same way by matching up the 2 edges and sewing along here. And then of course once this side is sewed, you'll just match up these 2 edges and sew along here, and you'll end up with the triangle. And then of course you'll sew in the odd-shaped pieces. So once you have the initial design finished, make a measurement from the end of the quilt top to the center seam of the pillow. And then you'll add 1/2 inch to that width. So on my pillow I have a 2-inch gap between the center seam and the edge of the top. So adding the 1/2 inch, my measurement will be 2.5 inches. So now measure across the entire top and add 2.5 inches to each side. On my measurement is 10 inches, so adding the 2.5 on each side, I end up with 15 inches. So then I'm going to end up cutting 2 15-inch pieces, one for the top and one for the bottom. And so then you'll cut a piece for each side of the top, but this time you'll only add 1 inch to each side. So since my measurement of the top is 10 inches, I'll cut an 11-inch piece for each side. And of course these pieces will be 2.5 inches wide because that was my initial measurement from the top to the center seam. And so then you'll just sew all those pieces onto the top. And then you end up with this.